Tonight, the Board of Governors of the Academy bestows an honorary award to one of the most respected and beloved producers of animation. For 60 years, he's been creating delightful characters for both adults and children alike, and been the pleasure of many generations. In over 80 countries all around the world, his name is Walter Lantz.
Robin Williams presented the 1979 Oscar Award to Walter Lantz for bringing joy and laughter to every part of the world through his unique animated motion pictures. According to Leonard Maltin, a pioneer is one of those who are the first or the earliest in the field of inquiry. By this definition, Lantz wasn't considered a pioneer in the field of animation. Lantz was considered to be part of the second wave who built on the ideas of earlier pioneers, but was also known to be a survivor. Join me as we explore the mind of Walter Lantz by unraveling the hidden messages found within his cartoons. We will enter the worlds of Woody the Woodpecker, Andy the Panda, the new Oswald, and Dinky Doodle. Let the journey begin. Lantz was born on April 27, 1899 in New Rochelle, New York. At the age of 15, Lantz worked as an office boy in the art department of William Randolph Hearst and took night classes at the Art Studio Lounge. Merle Goddard, who was American's favorite editor, recommended Lantz a job in the Hearst Animation Company. Lantz originally started off as a cameraman and eventually became an animator within 2 years. Let's examine Lantz's first animated series, Jerry on the Job, which was based on Walter Hobbins' popular comic strip. Lantz's cartoon series was based on a little boy named Jerry who began moving from job to job. Jerry was a retail clerk, a messenger boy, and even a big prize fighter. Now Jerry works at a railroad station under the supervision of Mr. Givany, the station's manager. Lantz's film Quick Change shows Jerry meeting a woman who needs help promoting her act, but it turns out the woman was a belly dancer. Now many historians agree Betty Boop was the first animated character to promote sex, but clearly Lantz was trying to promote sexual situations in his earlier films based on his cartoon characters' actions. If you still don't believe Lantz's cartoon characters were trying to promote sexual situations in his films, this next part of the film should have you convinced. As the woman begins to dance exotically in front of Jerry and Mr. Givany, both Jerry and Mr. Givany provide her with money to perform better services. Eventually, Mr. Givany has to escort Jerry out because he shouldn't see what happens next due to his young age. Could this be because Lantz was nearly a curious teenager at the time he created this film? Regardless, Lantz's series, Jerry on the Job, had phenomenal gags and storylines. After Hearst closed his studio in 1918, Lantz signed with John R. Bray. Eventually, Lantz was promoted to studio manager and developed his own series, Dinky Doodle, in 1924, which imitates Fleischer's series, Alice in Wonderland. Dinky Doodle was a live-action animated series based on a boy named Dinky Doodle and his sidekick dog, Weakheart. Walter Lantz even starred in the series as himself as Dinky Doodle's friend. Dinky Doodle always goes on adventurous journeys with Weakheart. In Lantz's film The Giant Killer, Dinky Doodle and Weakheart battle a giant until death. Could Lantz's cartoon character, Weakheart, represent his mother or father? When Lantz was born, his mother died from childbirth. Meanwhile, his father is invalid. Could Weakheart represent the weak heart of Lantz's mother or father due to health reasons? And the partnership between Dinky Doodle and Weakheart represents the ventures Lantz could never have with his parents. Meanwhile, the giant represents death, who Dinky Doodle is trying to protect his family from in the film. Due to the closure of John Bray's cartoon studio in 1927, Lantz moved to California and met Universal's founder, Carl Laemmle. Lantz set up his studio outside of Universal Studios and was put in the charge of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. His first job was to add sound and redesign Oswald by adding personality traits. Here's the film Woof Woof.
I've got to go to work, so you stay here and play. Suppose the wolf should come around when you are far away. If he should come around, I'll tell you what to do. Just call wolf, wolf, and I'll come back to you.
Lantz's film relied heavily on gags and situations, but Lantz's most important ingredient for a successful Lantz cartoon was his music. However, in 1934, Lantz wanted to up his game, therefore Lantz created the new series Cartoon Classics, which used a two-color process to add color to his cartoons. In Lantz's film, Scrub Me Mama with a Boogie Beat, color truly makes the film unique, but Lantz's message behind the film creates controversy. This film was banned from most networks due to his racial stereotypes depicted in his film. After taking a break from animation for a while, Lantz wanted to find different animals to use in his films that have not been used before. What do you know, Lantz took a trip to the zoo and was inspired by the main attraction, a panda. Lantz created Andy the Panda in 1939. The Wacky Weed featuring Andy the Panda shows Lantz's ability to combine gags, music, and sound successfully to produce a 5-star animated film. Additionally, Lantz's unique perspective of telling the story is clever and engaging. The narrator interacts with Andy and his friends by giving them instructions and commands while they tend to get angry and argue with the narrator. Another classic features Chilly Willy, who is a penguin always searching for food and trying to stay warm. Audiences fell in love with Chilly Willy's theme song, I'm Chilly Willy, and his craving for pancakes.
I'm so very unhappy. There's only greens and you. I'm frozen stiff as a piece of ice.
Andy the Panda introduces a new star in his film Knock Knock. His name is Woody the Woodpecker. Walter Lantz and his wife were on their honeymoon in Sherwood Lake, California, where a woodpecker was hammering away at his roof during the night, which gave Lantz the inspiration to create Woody the Woodpecker. Woody is a hyperactive, nutty, overdramatic, and violent character. The search for food is dominant in Woody's cartoons.
That ought to be locked up. That woodpecker's crazy as a loon. You said it. About whom were you referring? About whom? We think you're crazy. Yeah, you got some screws loose. So I've got some screws loose.
Walter Lantz's imagination must have been crazier to produce such a unique and beloved cartoon character. The most impressive part of Lantz's cartoon character was when musical director Darrell Calker produced the Woody Woodpecker song in 1948. Darrell's song was nominated to the Academy Awards Best Song of the Year but lost to Buttons and Bows. To this day, the Woody Woodpecker song remains the only song from a short subject or cartoon to receive nomination. To conclude, let's listen to Darrell's song and watch how Lantz's cartoon characters evolved over the years.
Oh, that's the Woody Woodpecker song. Yeah, he's a-pecking it all day long. He pecks a few holes in a tree to see if a redwood's really red. And there's nothing to him on the tiniest whim to peck a few holes in your head.